The Me Too movement has opened the floodgates on stories of sexual harassment and assault in the media, tech, and entertainment industries, just to name a few. And while those stories have fostered an important public conversation, there's still a long way to go. In tonight's signature segment, NewsHour Weekend's Megan Thompson reports on the troubling stories of harassment and abuse taking place at 30,000 feet, where there's often nowhere to turn.
Alison DeValadze flies all around the world for her job with an international women's cancer group. In April 2016, she took an overnight Delta Airlines flight from her hometown Seattle to Amsterdam. And the flight started off pretty ordinarily. DeValadze ate dinner, put on a movie, and fell asleep.
I awoke to a hand in my crotch. It was confusing at first. I didn't have time to think about it. My reaction was I hit his hand and yelled no, and immediately his hand came back into my crotch. I hit it again as I was trying to undo my seatbelt and get out of my seat. And then for the third time, as I was still working to get away, he grabbed me as I was getting out of my seat.
DeValadze managed to unbuckle her seatbelt and get out of her aisle seat. She then ran towards the back of the plane.
I couldn't breathe. I couldn't explain right away what had happened.
When she could speak, she talked to the flight attendants.
I feel that they were wanting to be supportive, but it was also clear that there was no clear procedure on how they should respond and what the protocol was for what to do next.
It was absolutely terrifying.
Katie Campos of Buffalo, New York, tweeted about a similar experience on a United Airlines flight home from Newark in December. She was seated on the aisle and says the man next to her in the middle was visibly drunk, and he harassed and assaulted both her and the woman in the window seat.
As we were going up into the air, he grabbed my crotch. And he did it again. And so I pushed his hand off again and said, "Don't touch me." And then he did it again. And the third time I popped up and ran to the back of the plane.
In the last few years, there have been several accounts in the media of sexual assault on airplanes. Some recent incidents involve teenage girls, others high-profile women. Randy Zuckerberg, sister of Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, and actress Anika Noni Rose recently recounted stories of their own. But it's not clear how often this actually happens because no federal agency collects data specifically on sexual harassment or assault on planes. The FBI has jurisdiction to investigate crimes on planes in American airspace or involving U.S. citizens, but it doesn't classify sexual assaults separately from other crimes on planes. It did tell PBS NewsHour Weekend that it investigated 63 sexual assaults on planes in fiscal year 2017, up from 38 3 years earlier. Mike Adams served as an FBI agent for 26 years, including nearly 5 years at Seattle's International Airport. He says he saw at least one of these cases every month. Adams says they were almost always perpetrated by men on nighttime flights.
Because on those flights, typically in-flight crews will dim the lights or turn the lights down. Well, for the most part, the victims are females of all ages. Oftentimes they're seated in the window seat. In a way, it gives the assailant the feeling that they have their victim trapped.
If an assault happens in international airspace or abroad, jurisdiction can get complicated. Technically, the nation where the airline is registered has jurisdiction, but the nation where the plane lands could also prosecute. Mike Adams says sexual assault cases rarely even get that far because there are often no witnesses and no evidence.
Which makes it very difficult to solve these types of crimes. You need facts, circumstances, and evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to convict someone.
Sarah Nelson is a United Airlines flight attendant and president of the Association of Flight Attendants, a union representing 50,000 cabin crew. A survey of nearly 2,000 of them last year found that 20% had received reports of assault between passengers. And Nelson believes the number could be rising.
We have seats closer together. We have airplanes that are fuller than ever. Flight attendant staffing has been reduced to minimums, so we have anywhere from 25 to 50% fewer flight attendants on the plane than we did 10 years ago, and more people to watch.
But that's only half the story. Nelson says flight attendants themselves are regularly the targets of harassment and assault.
Because the industry had originally defined flight attendants as sex objects, and that had never been denounced. And so there's this undertone when people come to the airplane that flight attendants are there for their enjoyment, or our objects. It is not uncommon to have someone try to get your attention by touching your rear end, up to and including some really aggressive behavior, pulling flight attendants onto their laps.
Have you experienced this yourself?
I have experienced assault on the plane, yes, in all those ways that I talk about. I've also experienced someone actually groping me on the plane. And it is really scary. It's very scary.
Are there any official protocols that the airlines have for you when something like this happens to you?
So in my 22 years as a flight attendant, I have never experienced a conversation or any training points about how to deal with sexual harassment and sexual abuse.
Never.
Never. Not one time.
And when it comes to passenger-on-passenger sexual assault, 86% of Nelson's union members surveyed said they were uncertain of or had no knowledge of guidance separate from general policies on disruptive passengers. United Airlines told PBS NewsHour Weekend, "We encourage our customers to always report incidents of sexual harassment to our onboard crew members, who are trained to address these situations immediately, including calling for law enforcement to meet the aircraft upon arrival." But when pressed for specifics on sexual assault and harassment protocols, United did not respond. When asked the same question, Delta Airlines gave examples of several situations that crew members are trained to handle, which include harassment and assault. Other airlines also said crew are trained to reassign seats and notify law enforcement. American Airlines and Alaska Airlines did say they have plans to improve procedures, with Alaska saying, "We will begin using scenarios of sexual assault in our crew training this year." One airline, Spirit, wouldn't comment at all.
And I panicked and just said, look, I'm not going back there.
Katie Campos felt the crew on her United flight didn't do enough. She says a flight attendant first told her to go back to her seat. When Campos refused, the crew moved her and the other woman in her row, but to seats directly behind the perpetrator, who harassed them until they landed.
And this man continued to turn around and grab for us and stick out his tongue sexually. United has told me even since then that they followed protocol. And if this is their protocol, that is absolutely terrifying and not safe for passengers in the air.
Campos says, to their credit, the United crew called for law enforcement to meet the plane. She's pressing charges and says several passengers witnessed the assault. In a statement to PBS NewsHour Weekend about Campos's case, United said, "We reached out to speak directly with her and apologize to her and her family for their experience." Alison DeValadze also felt Delta Airlines hadn't trained its crew properly to respond to the assault. She says they asked her to return to her seat for landing, which she refused. And she says one flight attendant told her to let the incident roll off her back. Others asked what she wanted them to do.
There needs to be a procedure on how to address this in a more standardized way. Because it is true, it's very hard in that moment to think about what to do. And what I was looking for is for someone who knew what to do and could handle the situation for me.
She says the crew told her they would write a report, so a week later she emailed to follow up. A month later, a Delta employee replied and offered her 10,000 miles to ease her, quote, frustration and inconvenience, and wrote, "I know it's not fair when one person's behavior affects another person." DeValadze replied, "This is called sexual assault. It is not fair. It is illegal." She says Delta eventually told her by phone it had no record of an incident on her plane, and she should contact law enforcement. She called the FBI, but she has no witnesses and doesn't even know the man's name because he'd switched seats and, to her knowledge, no one asked him for identification. In a statement to PBS NewsHour Weekend, Delta said, "We continue to be disheartened by the original event Ms. DeValadze described. We take all accounts of sexual assault very seriously and conduct routine reviews of our processes to ensure the safety and security of our customers remains a top priority."
We have to start addressing these issues and hitting them head on.
Alison DeValadze has decided to take action on her own. She started a Facebook page, is calling on airlines to change, and told her story to her U.S. Senator, Washington's Patty Murray.
You gotta be kidding me, this isn't happening.
Murray introduced a bill with Senator Bob Casey of Pennsylvania that will require airlines to train flight attendants on how to handle sexual assault and harassment, collect data on the incidents, and establish procedures for reporting harassment and assault to the authorities.
The problem is that people believe that or felt that you're up in the air, you're kind of on your own. If you're up in the air, you're in our country. You have a right to be protected, you have a right to have a process, you have a right to be treated with dignity. The laws apply to you.
Both Katie Campos and Allison DeValadze must travel for work, and both say flying now makes them nervous. DeValadze has had panic attacks on planes and says she always puts a book or computer in her lap now when she sleeps. But she has no plans to stop flying or to stop speaking out until she sees things change.
And if I can change the way that this is being addressed, if I can get airlines to put in place policies, and so this doesn't happen to other people, then that will be a success.